Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Saquon Sahled. Thank you for watching News Talk Weekly, an Abstrakt Control production. I'm here today with my co-host Navarro Whitaker and Gabe Campos. Today, we'll be discussing Whoopi Goldberg's Holocaust statements, the Biden administration's plan to give out free crack pipes, and mask mandates. But today, we'll begin with Joe Rogan's apology for saying the N-word and the misinformation battle with Spotify. But before we begin, how's it going with you guys today? Thank you, muted, Navarro.
You guys hear me now?
Yep, yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
All good.
No, everything is good. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Nice. Glad to have you guys too.
I'm awesome. Thanks again, for the invitation. Happy to be here as well.
Nice. So we're going to begin with the pushback that Joe Rogan and Spotify has been receiving lately. Um, looks like December 21st, 2021, Joe Rogan released the interview that he held with Dr. Robert Malone. If you don't know who he is, he's a physician and a biochemist that contributed to the early research around the mRNA vaccine technology, which is now used today in the COVID vaccines. Um, in Joe Rogan's description, he states that he is the inventor of 9 original mRNA vaccine patents, which were originally filed back in 1989. You may know that the episode caused the uproar amongst doctors, physicians, scientists, educators, and many people in society, which led Malone to being banned on Twitter for violating their COVID misinformation policies. YouTube removed the interview, and an open letter actually went to Spotify calling them to take action. Um, as you know, Joe Rogan did ink $100 million deal with Spotify back in 2020, with now estimating over 11 million listeners per episode. Um, and recently, there was an epidemiologist in the University of Illinois, Chicago School of Public Health, saying that they're considering Rogan as a menace to public health for continuously platforming anti-vaccine ideology to his enormous audience. And there's also a lady from Twitter named Jessica Rivera who regularly receives tips from her followers about viral content that needs to be debunked. So this is kind of where this started. And she says that Spotify has a responsibility to mitigate the information on their platform. Um, of course, we know this is not the first time for Joe Rogan where this misinformation and things are popping up. But so for me, at this point, it's starting to seem like a war on freedom of speech and things like that. What do you guys think about that?
I think there was some information that Joe Rogan said. There's a lot of misinformation Joe Rogan said in the past, but one thing that I do remember is him coming back rectifying those misinformation. So I think that there is going to be, and there is a war on freedom of speech right now.
Hmm.
Everybody's getting canceled for saying something wrong, even if they have wrong information at the time, or it's right and then it changed. By the time they record it, uh, it could be wrong, and so
Right,
people
right.
can't be wrong about something before they get canceled or ostracized for one's opinion.
That's true. That's true. How
Yeah.
about you, Gary?
Uh, you know, um, I'm not a Joe Rogan supporter. I don't watch his show. I don't subscribe to his show. But I do agree that there's an issue with our freedom of speech. If people are going to, and government and our little cronies are going to be sitting in the background looking for people to cancel and find things to crucify people with, that's kind of the issue. And it is an attack on our freedom of speech. And if
Right.
he can't say his opinion, share his opinion, share his thoughts and ideas, then how can anybody else? I mean, who's next?
Right, right. So do you guys think that he should be able to continue? Should there be any type of things in order, to satisfy these people's argument?
Oh, I think if you do that, all you're doing is appeasing them. And I like what Spotify did. Spotify went through and they removed some of the episodes where he had said some things that he shouldn't have been saying. They removed that, and I know he apologized for some of it, and if not all of it, but they went through and they removed those episodes, which I thought was the right thing to do. And Joe did issue an apology, right? But as I was saying earlier, I mean, Joe Rogan's show has been around for what, 10, 11 years, and some of those things that he said are even the racial things that he said. I mean, the dude had a lot of hair then, so he was much younger. And not to say that he's not growing and changing and learning and realize maybe he has some mistaken beliefs and some thinking errors and begin to rectify those and correct those. But they were old episodes,
Right.
and I'm happy that he's changing his opinion. I'm happy that he went through and apologized. But I think he should have did the apology, and I think they should have removed those episodes because he shouldn't be using that kind of language.
That's true. I definitely agree with that. He shouldn't have been using the language. I can agree. It might just have been an immature Joe Rogan, because
Possibly.
I do notice that some people say things that they're not aware of being I guess hurtful, or just flat out shouldn't be being used. Um, and I'm glad that Spotify did stick with them. Since the controversy, you had artists like Neil Young and India Ari. They made a big thing about it by pulling their music off of the platform. And I mean, I don't really agree with that. I'm not really sure what type of dent that you're necessarily putting into the cause when you do that. And this person is getting 11 million listeners per
Right.
episode. That's
Right.
that's really, really big. I mean, if you ask me, I don't really even know who Neil Young is off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like India's comment. She made the whole point where black artists aren't being paid the same, and so that's a big issue as well. And so I see her point there, and I think Joe Rogan's outburst catalyzed it for her.
Yeah, she did mention that, and it's not black artists, it's all artists. Because when it comes to these platforms, you can't everybody gets, it's the law. Everybody gets a certain percentage per stream. And basically what she's saying is that she doesn't believe that the money that her listeners bring into the platform should have been used to pay Joe Rogan to come and bring misinformation to their platform. She really doesn't believe that when artists only get paid pennies on the dollar.
Right.
She
I may have to go
really
back and
doesn't.
listen to that then.
Yeah, she did mention that. And I agree, but I also believe that when you choose to, as an independent artist, if you have the ability to take your music down like that, you also got to be aware of the business plans behind some of these platforms.
True.
Because I don't know one platform that is solely music anymore. It's videos, it's all type movies, all types of things that's
Right.
following these streaming platforms today. And I think she should have been aware of that. And I mean, I cannot be upset with what they choose to do to continue to boost their revenue, especially when, if you know anything about with Spotify, they were having a hard time actually being profitable at one point. So they turned it around, was able to give him that and still being profitable. I do commend them for that, but I have to respect her choice as well. Um, it seems like like you said, the CEO did stand by him on an earnings call last week. Spotify co-founder CEO Daniel Ek cited the company's critical role to play in supporting creative expression while balancing it with the safety of our users. He says, "I know the issue has been on the top of the mind for the week, but I think it's important to take a step back. We're trying to balance creative expression with the safety of our users. And of course, this is a very complicated issue, but I'm really proud of the steps that we took following the concerns raised by the medical and scientific communities." In response, they did end up publishing a long-standing platform rules for the first time ever, and they're going to be adding a content advisory to any podcast that includes a discussion about COVID-19. And in a public letter, he said that it's important that we don't take a position on being content censors, while also making sure that there are rules in place and consequences for those who violate them. Um, do you guys what do you guys feel about creative expression, and not just not just to Joe Rogan. Do you guys think that there should be any type of content censorship out here at all?
I don't think so. I think we should leave that up to the market because the flavor of the week is going to change. So this week everything is fine, but fast forward, and then you may have said the wrong word in a different season. Now you're being canceled or looked down upon. And so I don't think there should be any type of censorship or anything like that taking place. I think that the market should choose. If somebody doesn't like what that artist has said, then they have the right not to listen or to participate in their streamings or their music or whatever. And ultimately, the market will cancel them, if you will, because nobody is buying said product. But I don't think there should be any big business regulating that thing.
Agreed.
I agree. I agree. You just let the market decide what the market wants to do, and I think Navarro's really right. I think if people don't like it, they ain't gonna subscribe to it. They ain't gonna be listening to it. That's it.
True.